Welcome, scientists! I'm Professor Allie from Professor Egghead, and today we are going to be talking about colors. So to get started, I'm going to show you a few of my materials in case you have these materials at home and you want to join me for this first experiment. First, I have these little tablets, but you might have food coloring at home, and food coloring works just as well as these tablets. Next, I have 3 cups. Any kind of 3 cups will do. Now, I'm going to fill each cup with a little bit of water. Now I'm going to drop my tablets in. Now you want to make sure that if you're using food coloring at home, the colors that you're using are primary colors. So what are primary colors, you ask? Primary colors are, why don't you go ahead and guess? Yes, that's right. Red, yellow, and blue. That's right. All right, let's go ahead and drop them in and see what colors we get. Ooh, those are really pretty. So we've got some blue going on over here. We've got a little red over here. We've got our yellow. Our little tablets are fizzing. Cool. Now we're gonna let those tablets fizz. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab my little handy dandy dish. And we're gonna start experimenting with our colors. Now, we have 3 primary colors, but how do we get those other colors that we're so familiar with? Well, we're going to learn that right now if we haven't already. And we're going to have some fun with our primary colors by using one of these dishes. You could also use maybe an ice cube dish if you have one of those at home. That could work really well for this experiment. And all you want to do is you want to start mixing your colors. So here we have our red and our blue. What do you think we'll get? I'm going to use my little pipette, but at home you could even use your finger to drop a few drops, or you could use a spoon. What color do you think it'll be? Oh, purple, yeah. Oh, neat. I might have put a little bit too much blue in there, but you can see it's a purple color, isn't it? I'll hold it a little closer to the camera so you can see. Yeah, we got purple. Nice guess. All right, scientists, what do you think will happen when we mix blue and yellow? Think we'll get green? All right, well, let's see. Oh, looks like your hypothesis was right, friends. That's a really pretty green we got there. I'm gonna hold it up a little closer to the camera so you can see that pretty green. Cool. All right, scientists, what do you think will happen if we mix red and yellow? It sounds like you've done this before. All right, here we go. You think we'll get, I'm not going to say it yet. All right, so if you said orange, looks like you were right. We do get orange. Now, one of the cool things about this experiment is that not only can we create these secondary colors, but we can also, our orange, our green, and our purple, but we can also create some really neat other colors. So I'm going to play a little bit with you while you're here with me. And let's see what we can do. And you can go ahead and make some cool colors on your own at home too. Right now I'm mixing all 3 primary colors, and we kind of get this like grayish color. Now let's see what happens if we add a little bit more red to our orange and just a tiny smidge of the yellow. We kind of get like a little bit of a pink color. It's kind of a little pink. See that? Cool. And then what about when we mix a lot of yellow with just a tiny bit of our blue? Kind of a brighter green, right? You might have predicted that. All right, let's try one more fun mixture. Let's do a lot more red and just a tiny bit of blue. See if we still get purple. Just a tiny bit of blue kind of makes like a really bright pink. It's not quite getting to purple, but let's see what happens as we slowly add a little bit more blue. All right, we're getting like a light purpley color. Cool. All right, so that's like a much lighter purple that we got right here with less blue than we got over here, which is more of a bluish purple. This purple has a lot more blue in it. So if I was to add, what do you think will happen if I add a little bit of the red to our original purple? Yeah, it gets a little brighter. Exactly. So it's a little less blue. Okay, friends, now you can have a lot of fun with this on an ice cube tray, and I encourage you to do that at home. But for right now, I'm going to set aside our primary colors that we set up in water, and we are going to make something else next. We're going to move on to our next experiment with colors. And we are going to create a color spinner. So if you don't know what a color spinner is, not to worry, because you may have things at home that you'll be able to create it with. And if not, maybe eventually you'll be able to get them from the store or order them from somewhere. But we're going to start out with these materials. And I'll go ahead and show you what I've got here. I have a wheel and axle. The little wheel and axle. I have a little chunk of clay. I have a little, now you do not actually need a googly eye. If you don't have a googly eye, you could use like a tack. Really what we're using this for is that little bubble at the end so that our spinner is spinning on something, and it has to be something with like a curved surface. So if you have something else that works like a tack or something like that, that will do as well. And then we have our paper clip. I just have a little plate that I'm putting everything on. You're going to need some tape, some scissors, and you could use a hole punch, but you don't really need it because the way that we can make a hole is just by kind of tearing a hole. So first off, we want to go ahead and warm up our clay. So I take it and I kind of like mold it, just make it more malleable. You want to make it so that you can tear it apart. You can, malleable means like you can change its shape very easily. It's malleable. So you want to warm it up, okay? And then I'm going to set that aside. That's gotten a little bit warmer. Good, good. And I'm going to show you how to connect your wheel and axle. This can be a little difficult, so you might need some parent help here or a guardian help, whoever you've got around that's an adult. And what I do is I take my 2 fingers right down here in the wheel, okay? And you have the little hole facing up, okay? And you want to get this axle into that hole. And the difficulty can be that you kind of need to wiggle it a lot. So I'm going to move my plate actually out of the way. I'm going to wiggle, 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 and apply pressure with my finger, my thumb, actually not a finger. And you can use a finger if that works for you. For me, I tend to have a little more luck with my thumb. Okay, so now I've got the wheel and axle connected. And I'm going to take that malleable clay. I'm just going to go ahead and piece by piece, I'm going to stick my malleable clay into this wheel. And we're doing this so that we get some weight to our spinner, so that our spinner has some weight to it, because that will be important in order for it to spin around like a top. So I'm pressing the clay into my wheel. That's pretty good. I think that's enough. Now, we mustn't forget our little googly eye or a tack, whatever it is you have is fine. My googly eye is sticky already, so I should be able to stick it onto here. Okay, so I'm going to just stick my googly eye right onto the bottom so that it has something to spin on. Okay, now I'm going to set that aside for now. And I have already colored my paper. All you need to do is, if you don't have something already at home like this, what you want to do is just create a circle, and you can use like the bottom of, let's say, a pitcher. I'll show you. I have a pitcher right here. You can use the bottom of a pitcher to make a perfect circle. You can trace it with a pencil and then use a ruler to create those lines. If you have a protractor and you want to be really exact about it, you want to make right angles. So then you have your two colors. You have spaces for your two colors. You want to make sure that whatever two primary colors you decide to use, you color in the triangles opposite each other. So I chose yellow and blue, as you can see. And then you want to go ahead and you want to take your scissors and you want to cut out the circle with your scissors. Now, this is a great opportunity to color outside of the lines. These lines you want to color inside of, but because we're cutting this circle anyway, you really don't have to color inside the lines when it comes to the outside of the circle, because you're just going to be cutting off that piece anyway. All right, now I'm going to set my paper aside, and I'm going to show you how we're going to use this on our spinner. So what you want to do is you want to have your spinner right about here, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my hole punch actually. So I just want to create a little hole right in the center. Okay, so I used my hole punch to create that little hole. For me, I folded it just to make a tiny hole. Okay, and then I want to stick my spinner color paper right atop the clay that we have, just like that. Okay, so then your eyeball or your tack is still on the bottom, and then you want to push a little bit. And in order to get everything to stay, you will want to stick your paper clip right on top. So you just kind of shimmy it around, just like that. Okay, and then on the bottom, if you have any worries about your paper staying in place, you can always grab that Scotch tape or whatever kind of tape you have at home, and you can use it to better secure your paper for your spinner to work optimally, to work at its best. Okay, now it is time to use our spinner. Now, what's going to happen is we are going to create an optical illusion. As you can see, my spinner consists of two colors, yellow and blue. An illusion is when something looks like something that it's not. So we are going to create, you know what? I'm going to let you just watch and see what we're going to create, and then we can talk about it. It's more fun to make it a surprise anyway. All right, so here's my spinner, and I'm going to go ahead and take it for a spin. Whoop. Woo! Yeah, you got to get a really strong spin. So when you take it for that spin, you want to make sure that it's a strong spin and you got a flat surface. And then, I don't know if you saw that. It's tough to get it all on camera. Let me try again. Whoa. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? What color do you see? Yeah, the faster the spinner goes, the better the illusion. And the illusion we're getting is that this spinner is not two colors, but one color. And what we're seeing, what we should be seeing, if I spin it fast enough, is green. That's right. So the yellow and blue make green. Now, here comes the fun part. I think that was already pretty fun, but we can also create more illusions. So what I did was I created another circular paper with a primary color to trade out. And I want to go ahead and show you which color I chose. Yes, that's right, I chose red. And I really want to create orange. And I need another color, but I'm not sure which one. Could you guess which color I might need, which primary color I might need in order to create orange? Yes, that's right. That's right. I need yellow. So here I have yellow. And I'm just going to go ahead and color in this other section. And again, like I said, you can color out of the lines on the outside of the circle. No big deal. All right. If you color out of the lines a tiny bit inside the circle, that's really okay too. You just want to try to get it covered in whatever color you're picking. Now, I want to create orange right now. However, with this spinner, you can not only create those secondary colors, but you can continue on to create some really cool, wacky, wild colors. And it's up to you to make as many triangles as you wish. They're not exactly triangles because the outside edges are curved. However, you can make as many spaces, as many pie pieces, if you will, or pizza slices, if you will, as you wish. So you could even make another one right here and continue to do the coloring of one side the same as the diagonal, the opposite side. And you can use lots of different colors to create some really neat colors, but not only can you create neat colors by doing this experiment, but you can also start to create some really cool patterns. So what do I mean by that? You can start by creating like squiggly lines, and you can do all sorts of patterns and see what happens when you actually spin your spinner and see what kind of designs you can create, more illusions you can create. It's really a fun exercise. It could keep you busy all day, honestly, but it depends on how complicated you want to get with your patterns or your colors. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remove this one. Technically, you could probably just stick it on the top, but I'm just going to remove it to show you how easy that is as well. So I'm removing my first pattern, and now I'm going to stick on my second pattern and just go ahead and use that same Scotch tape. Why take out another one? No need, right? And those of you who guessed yellow, let's see if you were right. I'm pretty sure you were right, but you know, we can make all the hypotheses in the world. However, we will only see our true results by experimenting. Are you ready? Are you set? Woohoo! Orange it is. Awesome! And as it slows down, it kind of looks more like pink. Cool. Wow. Well, friends, it's been awesome having you join me today. I really hope to see you again soon. It's really awesome to do science with you, and I'll see you next time. Again, I'm Professor Allie from Professor Egghead. I hope you have a super fantastic day and you do some cool science. And again, feel free to send us your videos or your photos of your own experiments, and maybe we'll be able to feature your photos or videos on our Instagram page or our Facebook page. Who knows? Thanks so much again, and have a fantastic day. Bye.